When we dived into this project, looking back into the history of Terre Haute, we knew there would be some, what's the best word?
Colorful. Some colorful sides to it. That color, the color we are talking about today, is red.
This bordello of Madame Edith Brown sat on this lot in the 1940s.
That's right, Terre Haute had a red light district, and it all started with a woman named Edith Brown.
Madame Edith Brown was a young woman who came from Paris, Illinois to work in Terre Haute in the late 1800s. She decided that the life of a working girl was not for her, so she started what we call a house of prostitution.
But where was this red light district? Well, you couldn't tell by looking at it now, but it was just north of the Vigo County Courthouse near 2nd and Eagle Streets.
The house that sat here was very elegant. There was a swimming pool, probably one of the first in Terre Haute.
The brothel, well, it wasn't just well known in Terre Haute, but word of Madame Brown and her business went global.
One gentleman who told a story about being in the South Pacific during World War II sat next to a fellow in the bar, asked him where he was from. He said Terre Haute, Indiana, and the fellow said, "Ah, Madame Brown's."
But it was actually World War II that was the main reason Madame Brown went out of business.
During World War II, the government wanted to send young men here to be trained, and they approached Mayor Vern McMillan and said that they would not send the young men here unless they shut down the whole red light district, which they did. At that time, Madame Brown went out of business.
So whatever became of Madame Brown? Did she leave town? Did she set up shop somewhere else? And what about her husband? Well, that's a story all by itself, and when she did pass away, you'll never guess who she named in her will. Very interesting.
All of those stories, well, we have them for you over on our website. You can also check out a bunch of extra photos and much, much more.
Well, that's fascinating. It really is. And don't forget now, if you have a local legend or a story you want our digital team to check out, make sure you send them a report it, telling them all about your idea, and maybe they'll do it.
This has been one of the most popular
It
little
has.
franchises that they've had,
Yeah.
and you've been reaching out big time, so that's awesome.
It is.